2019 was a big year for Stony Plain between new developments, community events, and flooding. Council had its hands full. We grew not only as a community, but also as a region. Stony Plain worked alongside its neighbors on a number of key projects. To kick off the year, Stony Plain, Spruce Grove, and Parkland County came together to sign a letter of intent. The signing represents the three municipalities' continued relationship and commitment to working together for the betterment of the tri-municipal region. With our downtown redevelopment project, things got pretty hectic around here. Though the construction posed some challenges for residents and business owners, the results speak for itself.
For us personally, we didn't see much of an impact. Our clients were wonderful. There was lots of available parking. The day they did the sidewalk, they were helping ladies in. I myself had a client who is in a wheelchair. I think he had 4 or 5 guys lifting her, like bringing her whole chair and everything right in. They were phenomenal. Anything we asked, anytime we called, they were here. I'm hoping it will, get people down here, stop, park, do some shopping, come for a massage, do your banking, and go for lunch.
We completed Phase 2 from 54th Avenue to 52nd Avenue as there's work left over from 2018. We worked on Phase 3 between 52nd and 51st Avenue. There's some work to be done this year to complete it. This 4-phase project was aimed at replacing old infrastructure, bettering the pedestrian environment, establishing bicycle routes, improving paving and sidewalks, and establishing pedestrian safety measures. We created these real cool bell belts to lessen the pedestrian crossing. Now it's also a great place to sit, read a book, and drinking coffee. In the spring, these beautiful planters will have, plants. I think I can plant 4. Did you know that these crosswalks are stamped and colored? How about these sidewalks? They look like a hard-earned floor. These lit boulders are pretty cool too. But you didn't know that they're for pedestrian safety too. The Downtown Library project is underway, and once finished, the Stony Plain Public Libraries will find a new home. 2020 will mark the final phase of downtown redevelopment, Phase 4, starting at 51st Avenue to 50th Ave. And we're putting a roundabout right here. All the businesses for this final phase will be super supportive and patient in 2020, right? Old Town is the heart of Stony Plain, and we wanted to keep that heart healthy. In 2018, we launched the Old Town Community Plan, a project aimed at redeveloping and reinvigorating the Old Town neighborhoods. The plan prepares for the future of both population and economic growth. Throughout the planning process, we wanted to make sure residents had a voice in the changes to come. Public participation was crucial, and though there were areas of tension, there are also lots of big ideas. We wrapped up Phase 3 on the project in March of 2019, after hosting an open house and public hearing to engage our residents. After a multi-year process, the plan was finalized with a report published in August. Council approved the Corporate Plan 2020-2022, providing us with a plan guiding us for the next 3 years of development. The town has a lot in store for the future, including continuing to implement the design strategy, drafting a community recreational center design, moving forward with transit in Stony Plain, renewing the cultural master plan, the new Stony Plain Central School servicing, and of course, all this while balancing the budget and keeping taxes reasonable. Another big announcement was the development of a new community cemetery. This project entered first phase of design and planning. And in 2020, residents are being given the opportunity to take part in public participation sessions. The new Parkland RCMP detachment is one of our biggest projects. It wrapped up in 2019 with a grand opening. We're here for the official grand opening of the Parkland RCMP detachment building. It's a building that's built in the city of Spruce Grove here, and it brings 2 detachments together.
I felt safe before, but I think I feel even safer now. I think they can do their job probably better now than they could before.
You'll see us just as much. We prioritize school zone patrols in the mornings and after school and at lunchtime in Stony Plain.
So the residents of Stony Plain will get equal, not even better service than we had before. Look forward to the future. This building is overbuilt for our 25-year needs. So as we continue to add officers to serve our detachment area, there is a room here to house them. The Tri-Municipal Transit Plan was given the green light in 2019. Set to launch in September 2020, the service will be the town's first transit system for the general public. The route for the new transit service is still under development. Residents were given the opportunity to voice their thoughts through attending open houses and pop-up events along with filling out an online survey. We also announced the new accessible transportation service together with the City of Spruce Grove. The ATS merges both communities' accessible transportation into one unified service for seniors and people in our neighborhoods with disabilities. The handy bus units that have been generously donated by the Stony Plain Lions Club have become part of the new ATS fleet. While there was a lot of exciting change, 2019 wasn't without its challenges. In July, our community found itself underwater after summer storms hit hard. Our streets were flooded twice in 8 days, and some residents found themselves ankle deep in storm-filled basements. In November, we received assistance through the Provincial Disaster Recovery Program, and we held 3 registration events in December to help our residents. We hosted an online questionnaire, open house, and discussions in council chambers, which led to the creation of the new storm rate model to support our stormwater infrastructure. Despite some bumps along the way, our town continued to look forward with events like Small Business Week. We know in our community that small businesses provide a lot of employment for our residents, and they also supply a lot of support for community groups and service groups as well. So it's good to get together, connect, and celebrate small businesses, and thank them for the work that they do in our community. This year, we continue to support our local entrepreneurs, and we recognize some amazing businesses at our local awards gala. So I am honored to be up here to present the 11th Ambassador for Action Award. And the Ambassador's Action Award goes to Pet Foods, Etc.
It really feels good. It's a big reward, and we didn't expect it, so it's a big surprise, and it just really feels good.
And the winner is Dog Rump Creek Music.
Well, you know, we spent a lot of shows not watching the show, specifically watching the enjoyment that everybody gets out of the show. And I think getting an award for creative excellence just kind of endorses or justifies what we've always thought about art and how it makes other people happy.
The town received a few awards of its own too. For the 7th year in a row, administration received the Canadian Award for Financial Reporting. And our website was an honorable mention in the 2019 Hermes Creative Awards. Stony Plain also made McLean's list of top 10 places to live in Alberta. We moved forward with phase 2 of the signage strategy and put up 13 new signs around town, including our new digital sign at Rotary Park. It's a joint venture between the town and the chamber. We split the building cost and we'll be splitting the screen time too. Think this looks a great place for an ad? Well, give the chamber a call and they'll work something out for you. We installed the digital sign at Heritage Park that'll feature town messaging and events happening at this facility. We wanted to make sure you can find your way around the park with wayfinding signage. Facility identification signs also went up at the Stony Plain Outdoor Pool, Rotary Recycling Center, and Public Works. You also may have noticed the final touches on Veterans Boulevard. These banners were installed in the spring of 2019 in honor of our town veterans. Our beautiful town became even richer with the unveiling of Enduring Connections.
Today we unveiled our first permanent public art piece, which was funded by our public art policy, and this was a process led by our Cultural Roundtable and our Public Art Committee, and the piece was made by artist Paul Reimer.
It represents the
values and priorities of the town of Stony Plain. So there's 9 different stalks of wheat, and each one of these stalks of wheat represent things like the history of Stony Plain, the importance of agriculture.
We also celebrated 2 new murals in our town. It's very important for council to support art and culture in Stony Plain because we want to have a lot of multifacets for our community and a lot of draw for our community. And to round off our culture, we welcomed our first ever poet laureate.
Stony Plain is a great place to live, and I think it's good for people to get to know one another. A lot of times there's a lot of interesting, exciting things happening in our community and friends that we haven't met yet.
Tourism is a high priority for council. In 2019, we launched the Come Winter With Us campaign. Stay tuned for other seasonal tourism videos in 2020. 2019 went to the dogs, literally. The Unback Off-Leash Park gained a new agility course to get residents and their pets moving.
There are a lot of indoor agility parks that you can train at, but to have one that's outdoors and open to the public is unique to this area.
We're given the directive from council to see what we could do to improve the dog park.
The dogs aren't the only ones that had a new place to meet friends. This year we kicked off a new community event called Neighbors Day, bringing our residents closer.
It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
So we're at Chikawi Park today to celebrate the grand opening of our first ever Neighbors Day.
Neighbors Day is fun because you get to meet new people that you haven't met before, and you get to talk with them. At Neighbors Day, I made new friends.
Hopefully in the future, as it continues to grow, we'll build more resiliency in our communities. Know your neighbors, being able to chat with them, and looking out for signs to provide help that those people need. We had a near-perfect turnout for the 2019 census, with 99.9% of our residents responding. Our community grew 3.8% since 2016. That's 653 new Stony Plain residents. In the last 23 years, that town has more than doubled its population, increasing nearly 116%. Residential tax rates for 2019 ended up lower than suggested back in the 2018 corporate plan. While the residents saw a 2.33% residential tax increase, the tax rate for 2019 came in under the 3.37 increase that had been planned. The town's 2019 residential rate was right on the dot of the median rate for Central Alberta. For our non-residential tax rates, we came in not only under the median, but at the lowest rate in the Tri-Region area. 2019 was a big year for business development in Stony Plain. Industrial permits climbed to 10 million, the highest level in 15 years. Residential permit value has also doubled since 2018, proving to be the highest value year since 2015. Our economic development team has been working hard to advocate and support local businesses while also attracting new residents to our town. Here's a sample of one of the many videos you may have seen on mainstream media.
We moved to Stony Plain to be closer to good schools with smaller class sizes. The town of Stony Plain, unbridled possibilities.
With a growing population and plenty of change, it is important for council to stay connected with the community. Today we're at the Tri-Municipal Expo here at the Tri-Leisure Center, which is hosted by the Chamber of Commerce. Stony Plain gets a booth every year because we want to make sure that our residents have a chance to talk to council and members of administration that are here. It's another opportunity for our residents to just say hi and just give us feedback of what's happening in the community. With the changes to our Blue Bag program, we need to keep our residents informed of what can and cannot go into the blue bags. So we relaunched the Don't Just Trash It campaign. Smarty Pants, what are you doing here? This is my state of the region.
Well, who better to tell them about the Don't Just Trash It campaign than me?
Good point. Okay, tell us how you've been keeping residents educated.
Well, first we updated our website and recycled Coach app. Then we got the local media interested with the news releases. We launched a social media campaign. Boy, did we get beat up on some of those posts. We talked to residents at the expo. We had informative door knockers on people's doors. We stickered their recycle bags. We ran newspaper ads and radio ads, and my favorite, launching a series of videos. Check it out! Stop right there!
Who are you? How did you get into my house?
That's not important right now. What is important is you're about to put food waste in the trash. Don't you know that it goes in the compost?
Smarty Pants, what are you doing here?
You know the plastic bags can't be recycled. Here, use this reusable bag.
The most recent and one of the major changes are the lower grade plastics, such as the clamshells, pudding cups, yogurt cups.
This also applies to milk jugs, pop cans, and juice containers. There's still so many items we can recycle, and together we can make a difference.
We were reminded of our past when the town gathered to unearth the time capsule buried in the cenotaph back in 1994.
Today is an exciting day in Stony Plain. After 25 years, we've opened up the cairn at the cenotaph to see what the people of Stony Plain and the council of the day put there in 1994.
Can I get any members of the council in 1994 and the current council to come up?
So we found some really neat things. There was a book that was made by the kids from grade 2 in Stony Plain Central in 1994, as well as a letter from the current council at that time.
The town boasts 7,405 residents, and today we have
17,892. Speaking of tradition, this year we celebrated 34 years of friendship between our sister town, Shikowie. 8 students from Stony Plain jetted off to Shikowie for 2 weeks through the student exchange program. And as always, we're warmly welcomed by our friends across the pond. We also welcomed 60 students from Shikowie into our homes during the October exchange to give them a true Stony Plain experience. While the town certainly got down to business in 2019, it wouldn't be a year in Stony Plain without all of our amazing events.